How old were you when you were evacuated?
I was born in 1938, so I was just over 2. It was the end of 1938, so I think it was May time that we came. There was a bombing raid in Belfast, and all the people were evacuated out. We were evacuated to a barn with a thresher in it. I don't mind it, but Mother told me stories. And then eventually got a house after about 6 months, a real old place, and then on the Quilly Road, and then we moved to Warren Hill, and from there to Maypole Park. Her mother came from Dromore, from Evacuee, when she, as my grandmother came from a family called Graham, and then she had a baby out of like a wedlock in those days, and they just had to move, and she went to Belfast, and she was working in a large house, and they had friends who are people that own boats and stuff, and fishing boats, and they had a son who was deaf and dumb, and they were going to have to go away for 3 or 4 months, and the mother had died. And because my mother was a few years older, or my grandmother, they asked her would she make sure he was all right and look after him, and they would pay for her child too, and that's how they fell in, and they married. Had 5 or 6, had 6 children. So it goes to show you, how things change.
About when you said when you first moved to Dromore in the barn?
My brother and I was talking about it not long ago. I can't mind anything about it, and he can only mind the night that the bombing came. Him and my older brother were standing looking out at the window, and my mother was screaming at them for to come down and go into the coal hole, as they called it, under the stairs. And we were just talking about it. I don't really mind anything about it. And then the next day or the next 2 days, for my father was, I think he was in England somewhere at that time, but all the families were shipped out, and if you had any friends in the country, that's where you had to go to. And we happened to go to a family called Black, and all they had was a barn. And I think put a bed and something like that, and a couple of beds on it. Not done to it. We got sorted.